99% of people use Copilot as a grammar, spell checker, or to draft email. There are tons of new features and new tricks that will make you shine at work with Copilot, and I'm going to show you all of them in this video. All right, so I am in M365 Copilot right here, and I want to show you one thing. So I have an upcoming training with a company that is called Digital Alliance Research of Canada, and I want to get prepared. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to paste this prompt right here that says, create a Copilot page that gives me a complete briefing on this company, right? And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to click on the little plus, and I'm going to trigger the researcher agent. I will click on chat with an agent and I will trigger the researcher agent, which is very, very powerful. Okay. I will make sure here to have my sources. I will click here and I don't want Copilot to go into my emails or my Teams messages, etc. So I will click that off. But don't worry. We'll get back into the researcher agent later in this video, and I will show you even more of what it can do, okay? I'll make sure to check the web because I want Copilot to go on the web, and I will uncheck everything else. And I will basically just send my prompt right here. After just a few minutes, Copilot came up with this results right here. And what I wanted to show you is you click on the three dots here and you can click on edit in pages. Okay, that's very important. You can click on add to new page. Normally, just by saying it in the prompt, like I said, create a page, it will do that automatically. But since we use the researcher agent, it didn't do this quite well. Okay, so you will see right here, it brought my document, my old research results into a page, okay? And it's like a little Canva. So basically what you can do is directly in the document right here, add some notes. Hello, how are you doing? So it's very great. So you can then iterate and modify the results. And you can add tons of things to the pages. Okay, I don't want this to be a super thorough tutorial on the pages, but you can see you have all of your results. It's super, super useful, okay? But what I want to show you, okay, so we just saw create a page with Copilot. What I want to show you is the notebooks. So the name of this page is called Digital Alliance Research Briefing. Super great. And now what I'm going to do, I'm going to go back into the home page. Here we go. And I'm going to click on the 9 dots right here. And there is a feature that is called Copilot Notebooks. And it is super, super useful. It's to centralize and organize all of your data around a specific project. Okay. So you can see here, I have some notebook that I made already. I have tons of them actually. And I will pick the Alliance Can one. And you will see this notebook, I've put all of my documents related to this client in this notebook, okay? As soon as you open it, you see the overview right here. So it makes a summary of my notebook and tons of other things. I'll get back to these in just a few seconds. And if you click here, expand notebooks navigation, click X here, I have this pop-up, but you can see I have referenced some items. So these guys, I gave them 2 webinars, right? So I've put the slides of these webinars right here. And they also gave me what their employee does in a Word document. So I attach it here. So now I have a notebook that I can go and I can basically ask any question in my notebook. Okay. So let me show you here. I will say provide the detailed explanation of, and I will put webinar 2. Okay. So basically what Copilot will do, it will only have a look at the files of this notebook to give me an answer. Okay. So I will hit next. And you will see Copilot will have a look and it will tell me, hey, David, in the webinar number 2, you showed these guys from the Research Alliance, to how to use Copilot notebooks. Okay, I showed them that in the training, and Copilot, what it does, while it's loading, we can see the other options here. Copilot, what it's going to do, it's going to have a look in the webinars PowerPoint that I attached, the information, and it's going to give me a briefing basically, right? You can also quick create. We're going to create a study guide in just a few seconds, but you can create new documents, new creative based on the Copilot notebooks items. And you might be like, Dave, why, like, how is the notebook useful? Is that you can share it. Click at the top, share, and you can share it with your organization, so with your people. So if you're working together on a same project, you share the notebook. This is not an agent. This is a notebook. This is to centralize information and a collaborative place to work with. And you can see here, if I click on the chat, all of the chat that I have had with this notebook, so related to this topic only, are listed right here, okay? So it takes a little bit of time of Copilot to load the detailed explanation of webinar number 2, but I'll show you in just a few seconds. All right, as you can see, Copilot finished loading and you have detailed explanation of the webinar number 2. You have the source right here. I can click, it will bring me to the webinar, okay? It will bring me to the PowerPoint that I added as a reference in my notebook. You see here the reference, right? So what I'm gonna do, I'm going to add my page that I just created. So just a quick flashback right here, right? We have a page and I clicked on share. That's my briefing. And you can click on copy component and it will create an object. So the page will be like a document, right? We could transform the page into a Word document or a PDF, but I want to keep it as a page so we can maybe update it more easier, right? So let's go back to the notebook. I will click on reference right here and you can add a link if you don't find the page, and then you paste the link of the page, see the display text, Digital Alliance Research Briefing, click on OK, and it's going to add the page as a reference. You see here, it's a loop page, click add, here we go. And you can see in my reference, the Digital Alliance Research Briefing that we just created with the researcher agent is right here in the reference, okay? So I hope my instructions are kind of clear. Feel like it's a lot of information, but there you go. You have the page now in the notebook directly. So we have this notebook combined with all of my references, all of my Word documents, my PowerPoint, so we can ask some questions on the whole notebook. We can even share it with some colleagues. So that's the power of notebook, my friends. And what we're going to do, okay, let's do that. Let's do that one more time. I'm going to create here, create, and I'm going to create a study guide, okay? And you can see tons of options here. You can create an audio overview. I don't like that. You can create a mind map. It's it's interesting. I tried it, but a study guide, okay? A study guide. So let's say I'm giving a training. Remember the context, I'm giving a training to these guys at this company, and I maybe want to know first, what are they doing, right? So I went to the research agent, but now I want to create a study guide, right? You can see I have tons of information that I can create here, a summary, topic pages, flashcards. I'm going to create a summary and topic pages, right? So I will click next and Copilot will load. So remember, it has tons of information now in the notebook, my PowerPoint, my Word documents. It has my my page that I just added, and I want to create like flashcards type of things, right? A study guide, a one pager by training that I'm giving them, and you will see the result in just a few seconds. All right, so Copilot asked me to review the topics for your summary and topic pages. For the sake of this video, I will just uncheck some of the things right here, right? I will pick Copilot fundamentals and prompt engineering, and also AI-driven productivity in M365. All right, after a few minutes, roughly 2 minutes, you can see my study guides are right here. So Copilot created some new pages. Click here. Going to close this pane right here, and it's a page just like we saw in the previous tips, right? So it says, hey, Copilot fundamentals and prompt engineering together with, it made a summary, right? And in my webinar, I'm talking about my goal, context, expectation, source. So the webinar, I gave it to them, and see how clean it made me this page. And my favorite part, okay, I can't talk, I'm too excited, guys. The terms, right? It made a glossary. Yeah, a glossary right here with all of the terms. So it's very useful. So I can create this page. I can create a PDF based on this page right here. Actually, let's do it. And then after the training, because remember, I gave a training to these guys. Let me log on right here. After this training, I can just send them the PDF and say, hey, here is a glossary, right? It asked me to print the PDF, but here we go. I made a PDF. Of course, the structure isn't the best, but even made a section here, common misconception. Copilot works like Google search. The prompt doesn't matter much. AI output are always accurate. So it's actually very great, right? And if you want to take some information directly on this document right here, feel free, because that's the training that a lot of people pay me thousands of dollars to give, and it's right there for free. Okay, so that was Copilot Pages and Copilot Notebook. Hopefully I didn't ramble too much. It's a complex topic. There's a lot, but If you rewatch a video, then you're gonna pick some more stuff. And the key takeaway right here is that you can create Copilot pages with the researcher agent as well to get you more thorough into your researches. And you can create a notebook that you can share with your team that has tons of information into it. And Copilot is grounded into this information. So here you go. Okay, to the next step. All right, the next thing I want to show you, let's forget about this first use case. I want to show you how to make a research with the researcher agent and combine it with your 365 environments, your calendar, etc., etc. Okay, so I will go into agents right here. You need a paid M365 Copilot license to do that. You didn't need that for the notebooks. It's brand new, by the way, that it's free for everyone. And you click here in your agents. That's my case, but you can also go into build by Microsoft, see more right here, and you will find the researcher agent right here. If it's the first time that you're using it, it's going to be written add here. In my case, I will click on open, okay? And the researcher agent is very useful. We saw it in the first example, but I'll show you even more, okay? So we switch the context here. We are in a pizza. We're in the slice baby pizza, and we have some investors, potential investors next week. Okay, and I want Copilot to research the pizza market. Okay, I want Copilot to research the pizza market, the market size, the growth trends, the key competitors, then combine that with my calendar and meeting notes about the Slice Baby. That's our pizza company. Focus on the week of June 29th to July 6th only when you search my calendar. Then tell me how well positioned our concept is, the biggest risks before our August launch, and the 3 moves we should prioritize. Okay, so what I'm going to do here, I'm going to make sure I pick the Think Deeper model right here. Okay, so you might see these options. They might not have rolled out yet, but we'll use Critique. Okay, so it's GPT response refined by Claude. If you don't have that, you might have Think Deeper only. That's fine. Okay, I'm going to pick this model. Very important here. It's going to give you the best results. And again, the most important thing is that you pick your sources. Okay, so we're going to make sure we have the web. If we click on Microsoft 365 right here, you can see my chat, my emails, my meetings, my SharePoint. In my case, I just want my emails, emails and chats. Yeah, okay. I'm just going to do that. Maybe meetings, okay? And then I will turn off Power BI, Viva Engage, etc. Okay, so I will send the researcher agent. So here, the biggest difference is that we have the researcher agent go into a 365 environment, because in my calendar, I have tons of meetings about my pizza company, okay, about my pizza company, and I want researcher agent to combine both of them. Full disclosure before we get into the results, I created in my own calendar, in my real Outlook, some fake meetings about the Slice Baby. So you see we have the weekly founder stand up right here. We have the moving day up pop-up tasting in the Mile End, and we have our Quebec City expansion. Okay, of course, I don't own a pizzeria. Okay, this is for the sake of the the video, so I will not advise creating fake meetings. Okay, so back to the results. It took quite some time. Okay, I think 15-20 minutes, but still it gave me a full market research. Look at that. Launch readiness assessment, Slice Baby in Quebec pizza market. We got the Quebec restaurant sales in 2024. And let me actually click here on expand. Here we go. And you will see I have the whole reports, right? I have my 4 cards right here. So my biggest competitor are these guys in Quebec, and in Eastern Canada. We have our food truck traction in Q1 2026. So Copilot found these documents from my previous video, actually, directly into my OneDrive. Kind of crazy, right? And we can scroll down, and it gave me all of the section that I asked, right? Quebec pizza market, etc. If I scroll down, you can see here I have a table. It's super useful. So these guys are struggling. Pizza 2.5 out of 5, right? And if you scroll down, if you scroll all the way down, you have all these documents. It's so crazy. Look at that. It pulled all of that from my calendar. These are all of the meetings in my calendar, right? Once a day, as I ask in my prompt. And if I scroll down, I have all of my sources at the bottom, right? So if you want to double check all of your of your results from the researcher agent, you click here. Let's go here. Top 5 of the best franchise of pizzeria in Quebec. It gets me to the website, May 2025. I can attest. I can make sure that my researcher agent data is great. So let's go back to the researcher agent here. Close the sources at the top. And what I'm going to do here is similarly to what we did, I'm going to convert this to a Word document. Okay, I'm going to convert this to a Word document. I will download it, and then I will create a PowerPoint based on this document, the researcher agent document that it built. Okay, so let's do that. All right, so I am in PowerPoint, and most people still think that PowerPoint Copilot is not good. I will click on the button at the top, at the bottom right. I can't talk, and I will make sure to pick once again my Claude Opus 4.8 model. If you don't have that, you can pick the GPT 5.5. It should do just as well. And you need to make sure you have the allow editing mode activated. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to click on the plus. I'm going to join, I'm going to attach the Word document that we just downloaded. Here we go. I attach my Word document, and then what I'm going to do, I'm going to click on the plus right here, and I will select my branding. Okay, it's very important. Lots of people don't know that you can, in the designer, as you can see on the screen right now, you can create a whole design, a whole branding. Okay, so I won't go through all of that, but you can see in my PowerPoint right here, you click on the slice baby, and if you want to create your own brand kit, then you click there, and it's going to bring you to the window that I just showed you. Okay, so I'm going to pick the slice baby right here, so Copilot will know my branding. I have my Word document attached, and now I need to put a detailed prompt. So I will copy, and I will paste my prompt right here. Okay. All right, so let me read this prompt with you here. I said, create a 4-slide presentation based on the attached Word document. Keep it to exactly 4 slides. I want a title slide, a Quebec pizza market size, a biggest risk slide, the top 3 priority moves before our August launch. And I said, keep the tone bold, fun, and startup style. Remember, we love pineapple pizza. Also add a call to action, so we remind people to like this video, just as a standalone slide on top of the 4 slides. Okay, I'm going to hit send, and you will see the results, my friend, are pretty decent. Okay, I know you might be like, oh, Dave, I'm not sure. Copilot in PowerPoint, I didn't use it much. Last time I used it, it was really bad. You will see the results, my friend. It will take a few minutes. I'll get back to you in just a few seconds. All right, so here we are after a few minutes. This is crazy. All right, let me close the pane right here. Look at the slide that was made by Copilot. Before we slice in, smash that like button. So I asked as a joke to add a CTA slide. Look at that. I was talking about the pineapple pizza. Look at this image. How great that looks, right? It used my brand kit for all of these colors. So please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel if you find this is funny, okay? Look at that, the Quebec launch, so that's what we're doing on August. New York slices hit the plateau in Montreal, and here we go. We have all of the data from our Word document that we attach right here on the slide. Looks great, looks way better than what I could have done in roughly, I think it took like 15 minutes or less than that. And here we are, we have some slides. They look so great, huh? And here we go. Here we go. So let me recap the video. Okay, we saw a lot so far, and you probably don't even remember what we saw at first. First, I showed you an example of one of my clients, the Digital Research Alliance of Canada, and how we can use a researcher agent to create a Copilot page. And then this page, we can put it in a notebook. A notebook is a way to organize all of your data around a specific topic, and you can then share this notebook, and you can include the page you created in the notebook. Super cool. Okay, then in the second part of this video, what we did is we went into the slice baby, right? We want to open a pizzeria, and we use the researcher agent to combine our data from our calendar or Outlook calendar and the web to create a thorough market research. And then we took this market research and we put it into PowerPoint, selecting our brand kit that we created with Copilot Create. I didn't show you that in details, just that it exists, right? And now here we are in the video, and we're not done, my friends, because this is how to use Copilot better than 99% of the people out there. And I have the biggest surprise for you. It's the Copilot agents, and let's get to it. Now that we have our presentation, I went to an agent that I just created, PowerPoint Guru. And I created this agent in 2 seconds, literally, because I made an agent, another agent that is called the Agent Instructions Builder. And as a free gift for you being here all the way through this video, I gave you the instructions. You can download all the instructions that I gave to my Agent Instructions Builder, which is useful, right? It's an agent that helps you build agent instructions. So I said, hey, help me build an agent that is a PowerPoint summarizer. The goal of this agent, blah, blah, blah. So I want the instructions. So it gave me the Word document just like that. It gave me all of the instructions with the markdown, everything that, of course, you need to review, but it gave me everything that I can just copy and paste into my agent. And that's exactly what I did with my PowerPoint Guru. So download the free instructions down below to build your own agents instructions builder. So I will just ask this request right here, help me prepare for the attached presentation. It is next week. And the agent, what it's made to do is to do one task, right? Every time you create an agent, make sure it only does one task. So in this specific case, I made a PowerPoint Guru. So what it made to be is that every time I have a presentation, I just attach a slide deck and the agent will help me prepare for my presentation by asking me tons and tons of questions. And you know what? I didn't even test this agent. I just took the instructions from my agent instructions builder. I can't talk. I'm too excited. And look at that, okay? Look at the results. I just took the instructions from the agent builder and look at that. It gave me a presentation snapshot. And since I've put my instructions, it's always going to do the same step, right? First, give me a presentation snapshot so it makes sure that it understands my presentation. Then it's going to give me a deck summary. And then it gives me a slide by slide condensed summary as well, right? So every slide broken down into a summary so I can basically prepare for my presentation, right? With some screenshot. How good is this, right? I see even the screenshots of the presentation and you can see it gives me the top risks and it should give me the most probable asking question. I don't know how to say that. The question that people will ask me when I go in my presentation. There you go. Question bank by angle. So if I want to clarify my message about my pizzeria, right? What is the one thing you want us to believe after this presentation? Why this opportunity matter now? Are you pitching a brand, a single store, or a scalable concept? Like all good question. Logic and storyline. How do broad Quebec market numbers translate into demand for one lunch in the plateau, right? Why is the New York by Slice a great slogan or whatever? Evidence and data, right? So super useful, but what I wanted to show you honestly is the agent instructions builder. Please download the instructions down below and build your own agent instruction builder. I think it's the biggest value I can give you. Thank you for watching. Please like the video if you thought that was useful. I put a ton of efforts into it, and if you want to know more about agents, it's right here in this video. YouTube think you're gonna like it, and see you, my friend. See you, my friend. Remember, pineapple does belong on a pizza. Cheers.